I turned my old PS4 into a gaming PC and built a gaming setup for less than $200.
Okay, so starting off, obviously we have the PS4, which is gonna be powering this entire gaming setup. Literally, the Nintendo Switch costs more than the PS4, and it honestly runs even worse than the PS4. So yeah, the PS4 is literally gonna be the gaming PC in this setup. Super cheap. I literally bought this thing only a few years ago for $150. Even at that time, it was super cheap. But if you guys literally buy it now on eBay, on Facebook Marketplace, all the secondary markets, you could probably pick up a PS4 for literally like $50. So it's a really cheap gaming PC budget thing. This is the PS4 Slim. There's really no difference between like all the PS4s. Besides, I think like the PS4 Pro, that's like the only thing. But yeah, a really solid budget gaming PC alternative. This thing can run a pretty consistent 60 FPS. And I'll even turn this thing into a gaming PC. I'll show you guys later on how you can even use the PS4 as like a budget gaming PC, doing all the stuff that a gaming PC would be able to do, not just for like gaming and stuff. Also, you guys can take a look. This thing is definitely pretty dirty. I had this thing for a very long time, like I said. And for most of you guys who are gonna buy a PS4 on like eBay and stuff for $50, the thing should be able to work, but it's just gonna be like really bad condition, like this PS4 right here. Okay, so now moving on to the gaming monitor for this setup. I'm actually pretty sure this monitor costs more than the PS4 itself. It's from a company called KTC. Literally never heard of it before, but it's definitely a pretty cheap gaming monitor on Amazon. So with building such a cheap PC gaming setup, or at least a budget gaming setup, you're gonna have to obviously use all these like unknown brands, which Amazon definitely has a lot of. But yeah, this is a 140 hertz gaming monitor for literally only $80. I think that's honestly a pretty good steal. The only problem is I'm pretty sure like the picture quality and the image quality is definitely not gonna be the best. This monitor, I'm pretty sure, is a 1080p resolution monitor, which I'm pretty sure the PS4 runs natively on 1080p. There's no way the PS4 runs 1440p since the PS4 literally came out like 2014 or something. So yeah, we do have a 1080p with somewhat fast refresh rate gaming monitor, even though the PS4 literally cannot go above 60 FPS. I mean, if you guys decide to replicate this entire gaming setup, I would definitely invest in a higher refresh rate gaming monitor, since you guys will definitely upgrade the PC or the console, and eventually you guys will be running at the higher refresh rate. So definitely good to have a higher refresh rate gaming monitor for sure. Now, this monitor definitely feels pretty cheap. It's like entirely plastic and stuff, which is definitely expected for an $80 gaming monitor. But yeah, here it is. We have this LCD 24.4 inch gaming monitor. I'm pretty sure if you guys overclock, can go up to 190 hertz. So I mean, if you guys also get a PC for this setup, you guys could run 190 hertz, which is crazy coming from an $80 gaming monitor. The monitor does have like a full aluminum build. Actually, the base I'm pretty sure is just full aluminum, but yeah, this is definitely a pretty good gaming monitor, especially paired with the PS4, which is kind of like a budget gaming PC. 24 inches I think should be enough, even though it is pretty small. So yeah, really solid gaming monitor, especially for freaking $80. You cannot find a better deal for a gaming monitor that could be overclocked to 190 hertz. Okay, so now moving on to the gaming mouse and also the gaming keyboard. Since I am trying to keep this gaming setup below $150 for the gaming keyboard, this thing was literally only about $15. So it's a really cheap gaming keyboard. It is still a mechanical gaming keyboard, which is still very important. I do not want to play on a membrane gaming keyboard. So yeah, we have a $15 gaming keyboard. And then for the mouse, I did pick up this glorious Model D. It is in renewed condition, so this is why it's a really cheap gaming mouse. But yeah, this thing was literally only $10 on Amazon, while new condition of this mouse is going for about like $50. So this thing is a really cheap gaming mouse, especially for the price I bought it at, since it is a renewed mouse. But yeah, checking out this glorious Model D, you guys can tell the box is like really dirty. There's like sticky residue all over this box. I don't really care. This thing was literally only $10. But yeah, all the glorious mouse were like really popular back then. Pretty sure some of it is definitely still very popular, but it's still a very good mouse. There's like so many different types of glorious models. But yeah, the Model D right here is 68 grams. It's not like the lightest mouse, but it's also like not the heaviest. So it should honestly just get the job done. But yeah, this is the glorious Model D. Oh my God, the box was like really sticky. Hold up, I gotta like wash my hands or something. And for $10, I think the condition is definitely really solid. I'm not gonna lie. This mouse is definitely on like the bigger side of like gaming mice. Like the glorious Model O is like the most smallest one or something, but either way, we still have like the honeycomb design for the mouse. So this thing is still very lightweight. It is a wired mouse. That's like the only downside with this mouse. But honestly, for freaking $10, I'm not even gonna complain. You cannot even find like a decent gaming mouse for $10. I literally picked up like a name brand one for $10. So really solid. But yeah, we do have the two side buttons on the side. I know on this mouse, like these sides right here have RGB, and that's literally about it. But yeah, with this glorious Model D, something else I've noticed is that the honeycomb design is only on the bottom side. I'm pretty sure like other glorious mice, like the honeycomb design is all over the mouse. Like over here on the side would have like all these holes, but I guess it's just like the bottom part. But yeah, this mouse honestly feels not that bad. It's kind of like the size of a Razer Death Adder Elite. That's kind of like a comparison I would use. You guys can see like a comparison of the mouse and my hand. It's honestly like a perfect fit, but I would suggest something a lot smaller. It's not huge in any way, but yeah, this is a really solid mouse. But yeah, this thing doesn't even feel like a 68 gram mouse. This thing feels more of like a 59, 58. This thing is definitely still very lightweight. All right, let's go ahead and check out this $15 mechanical gaming keyboard from this company, Sermon. Never heard of it before. Obviously, a lot of these stuff that I bought was like the cheapest peripherals, so you're not going to be hearing any about like the names, like the company's names and stuff, but it should honestly be a pretty good mechanical gaming keyboard. For $15, we are getting a pretty cool looking keyboard, as you guys can see. It is a 60% gaming keyboard with this cotton candy design, which is really cool. Wow, this thing is actually really bright. Right off the bat, you guys can tell this is like a faux plastic build. Feels like those Temu gaming keyboards I bought in the past, but at least for this gaming keyboard, it has really nice keycaps. And then also, I'm pretty sure it comes with a keycap puller. Yeah, it just comes with two keycap pullers as well as the USB Type-C cable. I'm not sure if this thing could actually be used wirelessly, but I'm pretty sure the switches are some type of red switch. Yeah, we just have like some type of red switches on this gaming keyboard. I mean, for a $15 gaming keyboard, at least this thing doesn't have blue switches, which is like what most the keyboards would use if it was like under $20. So pretty good that we have red switches. And here is what the keyboard sounds like. Surprisingly, this thing doesn't even feel too cheap when I actually press on like the keys and stuff. Even though like the entire back and like the build definitely feel pretty cheap with like plastic, it still feels like a pretty solid gaming keyboard, especially for $15. I mean, this keyboard is literally new condition for $15. I rarely even see that on Amazon. It's pretty rare to find a $15 gaming keyboard that is also mechanical. So definitely a pretty solid gaming keyboard. It definitely does have some weight to it as well. All right, so this is what the PS4 budget gaming PC gaming setup is looking like now. You guys can see we have the PS4 connected to this 190 hertz budget gaming monitor. And something I actually noticed about this monitor is that it's actually really wobbly, so I'm not going to even touch this thing. But this thing was about $80, which is super cheap. And then for the gaming keyboard, we have this keyboard right here, which is a $15 gaming keyboard. It has these really cool cotton candy keycaps, but it also has some really nice RGB, as you guys can see. I'm not sure if you guys can actually change the RGB, but yeah, this thing is definitely a really cool gaming keyboard for only $15. And then next to that, we have the glorious Model D. I mean, this thing just looks absolutely amazing now that the RGB is on. This thing is literally a freaking $10 mouse. This is actually ridiculously cheap for a gaming mouse. So yeah, this entire budget gaming PC setup is less than like $200. Let me actually show you guys how to access like the internet or like do your homework, watch YouTube, all those stuff on a PS4. And I'm pretty sure it's really easy. Go ahead and just go into internet browser, which should also allow us to use keyboard and mouse input. So let's go ahead and go into the internet browser. It's honestly just really slow, but yeah, you guys can see we can go ahead and go into Google. And it actually looks like the mouse actually doesn't work. The mouse itself is just like the PS4 joysticks, but the keyboard should be able to help us type. Let's go ahead and go into youtube.com. So yeah, we can go ahead and go into YouTube, maybe like watch some videos. And then literally another thing people do on PC is like their homework or whatnot. So we can go ahead and go into like Google Docs. Should allow us just to use our keyboard. So if you guys want to use your PS4 to like write your essay or anything, yeah, you guys can see we could literally just access the entire internet. The only downside is you can't use your mouse for some reason. It literally shows the cursor, but you literally do not have access to use the mouse. So yeah, really cool how the PS4 could replicate a budget gaming PC as well. But let's go ahead and test it out for gaming and check out the performance instead. Coming from literally the cheapest console that could play Fortnite. Okay, so now that I have Fortnite loaded up on this PS4, first thing you guys will notice is the fans on this PS4 are already really loud. I'm literally not even playing the game right now, and you guys can definitely hear like the freaking airplane motor inside of here. So yeah, that is one of the downsides with the PS4, and literally like the worst. It overheats super easily, and the super loud fan noise is literally all you're gonna be hearing. But regardless, right now on the PS4, this thing still runs a consistent 60 FPS. The PS4 is literally more than like 10 years old by now, and we can still run a consistent 60 FPS, which is definitely really good. But once I actually start building, literally the biggest problem with the PS4, especially when you guys actually connect a keyboard and mouse to this thing, is literally the input delay. It almost feels like you're playing on like 120 ping, although this thing is still very playable. It definitely takes time to get used to, but yeah, we're still running a consistent 60 FPS. This thing literally does not drop below that. Maybe in an actual game, sometimes it does drop, but in creative, for the most part, this thing runs a consistent 60 FPS. Also, another thing I just realized about this monitor is that there is literally no speakers on here, hence why it's probably so cheap. You literally cannot even hear any sounds from the game. But regardless, both the keyboard and mouse are actually not that bad. This thing definitely feels pretty good, and the keyboard switches are actually sounding really nice. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, we're slowly just gonna go ahead and get used to like the input delay. And then from there, the PS4 with keyboard and mouse is literally like PC, but just having 60 FPS. Now, if you guys take a look at the PS4 in an actual game, for the most part, this thing is still running a consistent 60 FPS. Also, the game looks like there's like a ton of like motion blur. I just realized that. You really can't see farther objects that easily on like a PS4, because the Fortnite graphics on console are like actually really weird. And then you guys could also hear like the fans right now getting louder as we progress. This thing's actually getting a lot louder too. Holy. Just imagine us getting into a fight. This thing is actually gonna be like an airplane motor. But the PS4 is still running 60 FPS though, so definitely really good. Like $50 for a console that can run on pretty consistent 160 FPS is definitely really good for this setup. I missed. Oh my, 16? Holy crap. Cracked. Bro! I just lost to a bot. It's actually... Holy. Okay, playing on PS4 is definitely a lot harder than I expected, that's for sure. I think in game, the input delay is like a lot more, but once you actually slowly get used to it, I'm pretty sure this thing isn't even that bad. I used to literally play PS4 with keyboard and mouse, and it literally felt like a PC when I didn't even have a PC yet. And since you guys can't even hear the game, I mean, you guys could probably hear the fans really easily. It's super loud. Here, he just finished. First try. Oh my. Okay, yeah, I can't even take a wall on console. You can't even take a wall, bro. 8 damage, nice. Oh my. Hold up. The input delay in an actual game is actually a lot more. Like, you guys can definitely feel it too. Oh my. Oh, he's gonna take my wall. He's gonna take my wall first try. There's no way with this input delay I'm holding that. Okay, I held it somehow. I have like no mats. Oh, I can't even edit. Cracked. 200, let's go. I don't know how I won. I don't know how I won with the amount of input delay, but I'll take it, bro. I'll take it, I'll take it, I'll take it. All right, we're still running like pretty consistent 60 FPS. So you guys can definitely tell that the PS4 runs this game really, really consistently. I did hear that it sometimes drops below 60 FPS, so, but for the most part, this thing is running a consistent 600 FPS, which is definitely really good, considering how old this console is and how cheap the console is as well. You literally just gotta get used to the input delay, and this thing is literally like PC, since you guys literally have a keyboard and mouse as well. I see someone, I see someone. Am I gonna hit the shot though? On console? Am I gonna hit the shot on console? Hold up, hold up. No, I'm not. 30? Oh my God. I can't hear, bro. I literally cannot hear. I thought the monitor had speakers, but apparently not, which is probably why it was like super, super cheap. $80 for a 190 hertz gaming monitor with no speakers. I'm pretty sure that is like bearable a little bit, but everything else in this setup is like perfectly fine. I mean, the keyboard and the mouse both function really, really well for being super cheap. And it's definitely not like really slow as well. So it's still very, very functionable. 30, 30. Oh my, oh, you cannot aim on console. The input delay is just so bad. You cannot aim on console, bro. Okay, but there's literally 10 people left, and you guys can definitely see that the frames are dropping a little bit. We're getting about like 55 FPS now, but the PS4 is still at the 60 FPS range, so we should be good. Oh my God, bro. Why is there a guy there? If this guy was like creeping up, I probably couldn't even hear him. I probably definitely didn't even hear him. Wait, I could take this. Also, the mouse isn't like too heavy. I thought this thing would be like super heavy since it's 68 grand, but it actually feels pretty lightweight, I'm not gonna lie. Bro, I cannot, holy crap, yo. Okay, bro. I literally cannot hear this guy, bro. I literally cannot hear him. Let's go, bro, GG's.